Nota bene. It's a Latin phrase for a well-known abbreviation, note well. It's a good way to start our Easter season and in particular Palm Sunday. Palm Sunday is such a familiar date in the church calendar and the beginning of Holy Week and our countdown to Good Friday and Easter Sunday. And I'm going to assume that you know about Palm Sunday. I'm not doing a Bible reading. I'm going to assume that you know that Jesus rode into Jerusalem riding on a donkey. I'm going to assume that you know that they waved palm branches and put them on the floor before him as he rode into Jerusalem. I'm also going to assume that you know the crowd cheered Hosanna in the highest. But I want you to note well four things. Four things, all beginning with C, to take you on your Palm Sunday journey and on into Easter. The first one is to note well the context of this Palm Sunday story. Secondly, notice the control. Jesus was in control. Thirdly, notice the choices he made. And fourthly, the conclusion. 4 C's, the context, the control, the choice, the conclusion. Let's start with, note well, the context. In Mark 11 and Matthew 21, Jesus and the disciples drew near to Jerusalem. But a man called Bartimaeus, he was blind, and he shouted to Jesus. He shouted, "Son of David, Jesus, have mercy on me." And everyone would have known, that all the crowds that were with him would have known that this is the title of the Messiah. And they would have been on tenterhooks, wondering how was Jesus going to respond to this title. Amazingly, Jesus accepts the title and he heals Bartimaeus. That's the context of this story. Jesus owns the title Messiah, the very title that will bring him into conflict with the religious authorities and the Roman authorities as he enters into Jerusalem on Palm Sunday. The context in John chapter 11, it's recorded Palm Sunday in John 12, but in context in John 11 is Jesus saying, "I am the resurrection and I am the life." The context is also that he restores Lazarus from the tomb, brings him back from the dead. So that's the context in John. Secondly, the control. Jesus stops in Bethphage. It's a village just by Bethany, a stone's throw from Bethany, where his friends Mary and Martha live. Jesus is orchestrating his triumphal entry. He starts there where the crowds know him, where the crowds loved him. He drew the crowd, and then he was in control. He sent 2 of his disciples into the village to get a donkey. Jesus knew where the donkeys were. He knew people who had these animals and arranged it so that when the disciples took the donkey, somebody was saying, "What are you doing?" And they were told to say, "The master needs it and will return it after." This is not a gentle Jesus, meek and mild. This is Jesus building tension. This is breaking news. Jesus is about to enter Jerusalem riding on a donkey. And that's Jesus in control. They knew and loved him. He knew that they would cheer for him as he rode into donkey. They shouted the word Hosanna, which means save us now. Note well the choice. A donkey. Jesus chose to ride into Jerusalem on a donkey. This isn't a war horse or a white stallion that a king would have ridden into. This is the beast of a servant. Zechariah 9 verse 9 got it so right. It was written 500 years before Palm Sunday. And he said, "Lo, your king comes to you riding on a donkey. Lowly he is." Zechariah got it so right. Jesus makes a choice. And then right at the end in Mark 11, verse 11, an incidental little phrase. I love it. It says, since it was already late. This is the end of Palm Sunday. Since it was already late, he went out to Bethany with the 12. Jesus is still in control. At the end of Palm Sunday, he went out to his friends and he rested. And finally, the conclusion. Palm Sunday features in all four Gospels. It's in Mark chapter 11. It's in Matthew 21. It's in Luke 19. It's in John chapter 12. And the one thing we can conclude from that is that this really happened. This is history. And if this Palm Sunday is history in the making, so too is it history in the making that the crowds who cheered Hosanna, then on Good Friday, crowds jeered, crucify him, crucify him. This is true and accurate history. Jesus rode into Jerusalem on a donkey on Palm Sunday. He was led outside Jerusalem city walls on the Friday afterwards, where they nailed him to a cross and crucified him and buried him in a borrowed tomb. He arose from the tomb, alive on the Sunday after, alive forevermore. And we can know him and we can love him today because he loves you and he longs for you to know him. I urge you not to ignore him. Believe in him. He is the one who said, I am the resurrection and I am the life. Those who believe in me, though they die, yet will they live. And everyone who lives and believes in me shall never die. Will you choose to believe in him? You've heard the context. You've heard that he was in control. You've heard the choices he made. Those choices were for you. Will you choose him? I hope so.